spent so long just wondering. For years I was adrift, directionless and wayward, lost like a swallow on a cliff. But slowly I found purpose and my life became more clear. I found my destination, yeah, but now where do I go from here? 'Cause I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I'm already there, I'm already everywhere. I've got a wife, 2 kids, and a picket fence. Everything was hazy, now it's making sense.
Hey seniors, welcome to this edition of Seniors in Action. Today we're introducing the Form 1040SR. It's a new form for the 2019 filing season, and it's made specifically for seniors, those 65 and older. Before we go there though, let me talk about the 3 disclaimers that you just saw in the video. First one is an IRS disclaimer saying that this form is still in draft state and it hasn't come out as in final form yet, so it could be changed, and the instructions could also be changed, so you need to be aware of that. The second disclaimer is an affiliate disclaimer that's saying this channel and these videos may have links embedded in them that go to certain merchandisers. And if you do that, if you click on those links and go buy something, we actually earn a commission on that. So you need to be aware of that. That is an FTC requirement that we disclose that. The third link is an educational disclaimer saying that although we work as hard, and I work as hard to have everything correct in these videos, there could be something that's not correct. So you need to not rely totally on this video, but you need to rely on your own research and on you're talking to your tax advisor, especially if there's specific situations that you want to talk about. All right, you may not see me again in this video. I'm going to be narrating the slides and talking about the 1040SR, so we'll go from there. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the benefits of the 1040SR now. The 1040SR has been compared since it came out to the 1040EZ, and there are some differences though. The 1040EZ actually could not be used by seniors over 65, where the 1040SR is designed for people over 65, and only people over 65 can use it. So January 2nd, 1955 is the date. If you were born before that date, you can use the 1040SR. Now there's some question as to whether a joint couple can use the 1040SR if one of the individuals is over 65 and the other one is not. And that question has not been answered yet, and hopefully the IRS will answer that in the final form that's issued and in the final instructions. But so that's one difference. Now the 1040SR can be used by for several types of income. We'll talk about those in more depth in the future, but you can see some on this slide. Now the 1040EZ could also not be used by people that were making over $100,000 worth of income. The 1040SR has no income limit, so you can use that form for anything over $100,000 as long as it's income that is applicable to this form. The 1040SR has several disadvantages, and you need to be aware of those. Whereas the old EZ, the short form EZ, and the short form 1040A could be used by a multitude of people, the 1040SR can only be used by seniors, and only seniors that have got certain types of income. So that is a major disadvantage. What it means is the 1040SR is the only short form available anymore, and anybody else under 65 and possibly quite a few over 65 are going to have to use the 1040 long form. Okay, let's talk about who can use the form. We discussed earlier that taxpayers born before January 2nd of 1955 could actually use this form. There are some exceptions to that, though, and it depends on the type of income that you might have. If you've got Schedule C income, which is a small income from a small business, you're not going to be able to use the 1040SR. If you have farming income, which is the Schedule F, you're not going to be able to use the Form SR. And if you have Schedule E income, which includes rental property, it includes S corporation income, it includes partnership income, you're not going to be able to use the 1040 SR. So a lot of people, even though this is for seniors, a lot of seniors are not going to be able to use this form. So it's going to have very limited use compared to the old short forms that the IRS actually came out with. Okay, as you can see on the slide, the standard deduction amounts are much more than what they were prior to last year. Single individual 65 and up, and I've only included the standard deductions for those of you that are 65 and older, since this is a senior channel. $13,850, you get an additional deduction if you're legally blind. Joint, $27,000, blind $29,600. So these are a lot higher, so it means a lot of people aren't going to be able to itemize anymore, which is it makes the return much easier to prepare. So you'll be taking the standard deduction. So in looking at whether you can file the 1040 SR or not, you've got to determine whether the standard deduction is going to benefit you as opposed to the itemized deduction. If you decide that you have to itemize, then you're going to be forced to use the 1040 regular form, the long form. All right, if you decide to use the 1040 SR, the includable income items are wage income, W-2 wage income, interest income, dividend income, IRA distributions, pension distributions, Social Security benefits. A lot of this stuff could not be included on the 1040 EZ in the past, and so they are including them on the 1040 SR. Capital gains or losses can be included. You have to attach Schedule D. Other income such as hobby income, barter income, prize winnings, gambling income, and more. Any other income that comes to you is going to be taxable, and you can include it on the 1040 SR. So some of the things that we talked about that weren't included, for example, are your farm income, your business income, your rental incomes and incomes from partnerships and S corporations. Any of that stuff is going to you're going to have to file the long form. So this slide just shows you the majority of those things that you can include on the 1040 SR. After you've taken your standard deduction, then there are some credits available. The child tax care credit or the credit for other dependents is available. If you're taking a credit for other dependents, you certainly need to look into that a little bit more than what I'm going to give you right here, because it's not the objective of this lesson anyway to talk about these credits. The earned income credit, which you're probably familiar with, is also available if you're within the certain income limits. So those two credits are available. There are a couple other credits on the form, and I'll talk to that in just a minute. In conclusion, you need to remember that these forms and the directions are still in draft state, and they could be changed before they're released in final form by the IRS. Still some questions that we have, though. When filing a joint return, do both taxpayers have to be over 65? Some people think yes, some people think no, so that's a question that's still out there to be answered. Why does the form contain additional lines for child tax credits and for education credits? I mean, it is possible, I guess, that seniors could use those credits, but in reading literature and studying for this presentation, I haven't seen anybody that has made any mention to them whatsoever. The other problem I don't like is that the draft instructions include both the 1040 and the 1040 SR all in one. And it's very difficult to see in those instructions what applies to the 1040 SR versus the 1040. So that's very difficult, and I wish they would change that, but I doubt that they will. All right, that's the 1040 SR in conclusion. That's about as much as anybody knows about it right now. We do have the instructions, but that'll give you a pretty good introduction to the form. You'll have to decide when the final regulations come out whether you want to use it or not. But I appreciate you viewing. Please give me your comments down below if you'd like on this video. I'd urge you to like it and subscribe to the channel. Certainly if you're interested about learning more about senior activities and items, subscribe to this channel and send me ideas for future videos. Thank you very much.